Hey people, what is up? Okay, it is week 10 of flower for these OG Kush, and I think they're about done. I'm going to go ahead and let the dirt dry out a little bit in these pots and then call it good on these girls. You can see they're getting some really nice purples in there. Very pretty to look at. So it's probably going to be 2 or 3 more days and they'll be done. I'm going to call them done anyway. So I was hoping they would get bigger, put on some weight, but it doesn't really appear like they're going to do that. So they're starting to amber up, and I'm just going to call it good. But they are pretty. It seems like the way to go on these would be to grow them outdoors, unless you have really high ceilings inside. And you can let them veg for a long time and get really big. Or if you're one of those people that scrogs, man, these would be great for scrogging, because it seems like the buds down lower on these secondary branches are bigger than the primary bud up top. Well, I know they are. So I don't know if that's indicative of this particular Kush or they all grow like that, because this is the first time we've grown any kind of Kush. You can see when you look at them from this angle, there's not much to them density wise. So I'm curious as to how much I'm going to get out of them. Like I said, I let them go, you know, for, well, it'll be over 10 weeks my harvesting, because it's 10 weeks today, which means they've been in this flowering room for 11 weeks. So I'll be harvesting them, you know, almost 12 weeks of being in this room. 11 weeks and 2 or 3 days, depends on when those pots dry out. So it just makes it easier for me to deal with the soil in these pots if I let the plants go ahead and dry the soil out before I move them out of here. All right, so here's a shot of the next crop in here. And at this point, they've already been in this room for 3 weeks now. So yeah, you know, it's nice. It's always kind of depressing when I pull a crop out of here and then the room's empty. So I much prefer to do it this way. Pull a crop out and then the next one's already, you know, well into flowering. So yeah, I like doing it this way. You can see, hell, these plants that have been in here 3 weeks are almost caught up with the, you know, the buds on those OG Kush. You know, from the looks of it in this photograph. Of course, you guys know that's not the case, but looking at it from this angle, sure looks that way. But anyway, got to get that high pressure sodium turned back on. Just wanted to give you guys a look. And now I've got all this room for myself again, all 2 feet. You know, there's about a couple feet there to walk. Anyway, makes it a lot easier for me to get around and to move these things into water and do what I need to do. But it's well worth it being crowded in here for 2 or 3 weeks if I can, you know, just rotate my crops in like this. All right, cheers people, later. All right, so here we are. This is what it looks like when I've got them drying. These are those large boxes from Lowe's, the extra large 22 by 22 by 21 and a half. I think they were less than $5 a piece, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, they make great drying boxes for me anyway. See if I can get a light on here. There we go, that's a little bit better. Not great, but better. I need to get a reflector built for that thing. Curiouser and curiouser. So there's one. There's 2. And I really wish I had more of these. But I like these little humidity gauges here. See if I can get the light to not reflect on that. But yeah, I need to get these close back up pretty quick. You can see how it's, you know, probably 45% is in here. So I need to get these doors closed as quick as possible. But those are great. What's nice about these is I've got this tied up, but it's got this little bevel, these little ears right here. So if I were to cut a hole that size in the side of these boxes, that would plug right in and I could just read it from the outside. But since I've only got the one, I like to move it from box to box. And that makes that doable. But yeah, if I had more of them, I would just install one of those in each one of these boxes and be done with it. It's the third one. I don't know if you can see it, but in each one of these there's a flap cut at the top and a flap cut in the bottom that I can open, so I can adjust the airflow with the tops closed. So once these tops get closed, I can keep them pretty close to 62%, but you know, it's with a lot of futzing around with the doors and stuff. There's a much better way. I just can't afford to do it. This is the best I can do. But anyway, these will have been in here in these boxes for 5 days tomorrow. So tomorrow, or actually later today, because it's Sunday now, I'll crash and do it later. But you know, I'll pull every one of these out and I'll trim those leaves off and put them back in here for another 5 days, and then see if they're ready to cure at that point. Anyway, cheers people. Later.